operations. Surely. Authorizer.
Understood, Secretary General. Given the list of names we found in Blue Planet's hideout, as well as the recent assassination attempt against the Secretary General, the security force deemed their organization too dangerous to ignore. Naturally, the order was given to crack down on all of their operations. As for this cleric person you're so concerned about, considering his connection to the blueprints you found, as well as the fact that Blue Planet was actively recruiting new members at the time, we suspect that the cleric is a recent addition to their research team. Nothing at all. But after conferring with Miss Aglia, we both agree that the hit squad's infiltration of the Smart City was orchestrated by none other than the cleric. But we might have been looking at this all wrong. If the cleric isn't on that list, it's not because he's new. It's because he outranks even Erot in their hierarchy. I'm afraid it goes even further than that. The hit squad's flawless takeover of the Smart City must have had something to do with him as well. The crackdown operations were meant to ensure Secretary General Kieran's safety, but it seems they've had the opposite effect. The control center, the very core of the Smart City. Only authorizers can access its systems, but once inside, they can gain full control of every tower of fantasy on the planet. I fear just the opposite. Blue Planet believes humanity was never meant to harness Omnium, so they must be aiming to destroy every tower, cutting us off from Mara's power forever. Then everything would fall apart. The Secretary General's reality reshaping program, our defense force trapped in hyperspace, and all of Ida consumed by the aberrations. Correct, but until we get there, it falls on Pippin to stop them. Our mission will be to foil Blue Planet's schemes, rescue Authorizer 968, and successfully launch the Rewind. As a precaution, we will also be escorting another person into the Smart City, Authorizer 304, Kalpa.
It's too late for regrets now, researcher. We'll be waiting at the entrance to the Smart City. I didn't spy on anyone, for your information. Claudia started a conference call to explain the details of the mission, and I just happened to be here. '"
I understand your concerns, Commissioner, but our intel suggests that Blue Planet is using a new type of virus to maintain control of the Smart City's defenses and communications. If we want to safely carry out our mission and restore the city's functionality, we'll need Grey Fox's technological expertise.
Also worth mentioning is that I provided that information to the Federation with the help of a certain Tower of Fantasy employee. As you can see, my involvement in the mission isn't up for debate anymore. No need to worry there. She's pulling double shifts at the suppressor facility. 16 hours a day, helping with production. She barely has time to breathe, let alone get involved in this. That's right. Because suppressor production requires the use of Omnium, there's an increased chance of aberration. As a result, factory workers are given higher priority for suppressor distribution. The same goes for Roslyn, along with any other public security officers who are involved in the aberrant incidents. They've all been given suppressors too.
A pleasure to meet you. I am Authorizer 304, but you can call me Kalpa. I work as a filing clerk for the Defense Forces Case Management Department.
Damn, she got an ass.
Then it seems you don't fully understand the role. After Gestos was upgraded using Omnium technology, control procedures became both overly complex and grossly inefficient. After several experiments, we found that the human brain was the best solution to this dilemma. By establishing a cybernetic link with Gestos, the human brain's commands can be translated into the system's language and executed with extremely high efficiency. However, there aren't many people who are capable of establishing such a powerful link, and the process itself puts a tremendous strain on the user. For this reason, Hykros carried out a large-scale screening of every single worker in the Federation. First authorizers? So there were others before? It's true that research personnel make up only a small portion of authorizers, but... You're a Hykros researcher, no? I remember seeing your file some time ago. Despite your superior intelligence, your constitution is somewhat lacking, and you have a history of hospitalization secondary to illness. In any case, while it may seem as though brain power is the only thing required for the cybernetic link, a person's body and mind are inextricably connected. Any burdens experienced by the brain will be ultimately reflected on the body.
Take my brother, for example. 2 years ago, he suffered from severe body pain and insomnia, and couldn't hold down food without throwing it back up. The doctors said that the source of his illness was in his mind. I believe they called it somatization.
That's one way to understand it, I suppose. In any case, authorizer candidates were pulled from various fields. Many are determined soldiers with combat experience, while researchers like yourself make up the smallest portion of candidates. You'd be wise not to underestimate filing clerks like me. Our work may sound insignificant, but we come across top-secret knowledge more often than we like. Like the candidacy process for authorizers, for instance. We're not supposed to know about any of it. But because our group of clerks is so close-knit, we tend to discuss enough information to piece things together. No, not at all. I'm just demonstrating how effective we clerks can be when we work together. After all, it was our network that helped Miss Nola find documents related to her missing past. I have no doubt about that. I've seen your file too. But Pippin, after reviewing his records, I discovered he was just an ordinary person who got lucky during screening. That's what concerns me.
A safe route has been established. Prepare to enter the Smart City. And as an added precaution, I brought T5 suppressors for everyone. Please take one before we begin.
Agent Claudia, you're finally here. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is William, and I'm the director of the Gestos Smart City.
Hello, Director William. Could you please apprise us of the situation in the city?
Certainly. Late last night, a team of Blue Planet agents infiltrated the city and kidnapped Authorizer Pippin before quickly descending into the middle level. Aside from the shock of the ordeal, the workers on the upper level are relatively unharmed. But our biggest problem is that Blue Planet's taken full control of the defense and communication systems. Last night, Security Chief Jay spent 4 grueling hours just carving out a safe path for your arrival after it happened.
Where is the security chief right now?
After reporting Blue Planet's infiltration, he said he needed to ascertain the situation within the Smart City. Shortly afterward, he led a small crew of workers deeper into the city, but the communication jam prevented us from contacting them. I'm afraid not. Under normal circumstances, the Smart City's security system will respond to any attempted breach. Not only did it fail to alert us last night, but our security droids had gone completely out of control. It seems Blue Planet's attack on the city involves reprogramming our droids to ignore one of the 3 laws of robotics, to avoid harming humans at all costs. The problem is, we have no idea how they managed to accomplish this.
It's very likely, but we won't know for sure until I get my hands on a server or a droid and analyze it.
We have a number of low-functioning droids built from spare parts here in the city. They've never been connected to the security system, so Chief Jay assigned them to protect the staff on the upper level. He worries that they'll turn against us the moment they connect to the security system, but without any orders, these droids are severely limited in their functionality. When Chief Jay approached the 2nd level, he was attacked by our own security droids. I'm worried for his safety as well as the safety of the other workers. Please, you must help us get them out of there.
You don't have to worry about that right now, Commissioner. Our main objective is to clear a path to Blue Planet's position and stop them. As we push further into the city, additional Federation agents will follow behind to evacuate any personnel they encounter. Rest assured, Director William, we won't stop until every last Smart City worker is safe.
I can't thank you enough for this. Am I mistaken, or is something flying towards us?
This passage connects the upper and middle levels. We'll have to keep pressing onward if we want to find Blue Planet.
Help! Someone please save us!
Hey, did you guys hear something just now?
We're over here! Please save us!
Oh, thank goodness my name is Hart, and I'm trapped in here with Forrest, another one of my colleagues. Please, you have to get us out of here.
There should be an emergency lock override on your side. The passcode is 4090. There should be an emergency lock override on your side. The passcode is 4090.
Oh, we owe you our lives. If you hadn't found us when you did, we would have starved to death in this place. The two of us were up all night running tests, and we didn't call it quits until early morning. We're roommates, you see, so we were gonna call a cab once we clocked out. But then...
we got ambushed and taken hostage by a couple of Blue Planet thugs. They stole our cards and forced us to bring them into the Smart City. We thought we were being clever, leading them to this lab where we could trap them behind the security door while calling for backup. Never dreamed they'd end up turning the tables on us.
Not only that, but they also took away a mechanic from the Smart City named Pippin.
It's all our fault. We could have saved him if we didn't screw everything up.
Don't worry, we'll make sure Pippin stays safe. Right now, we need you to tell us exactly what happened and how you got locked in here.
Okay, when they captured us, they demanded that we give them access to any confidential files related to the Smart Cities. We lied to them, and told them that those files could only be accessed with our work cards, and only through the computer in this lab. We tricked them into bringing us here and gave them a long and convoluted password to input into the computer. While they were distracted, we set off the fire alarm outside the door to initiate an emergency lockdown of the lab.
Since they weren't Smart City employees like us, they shouldn't have been able to disable the lock. But after about a minute or so, they managed to unlock the door somehow and threw us both in here. Afterward, they busted the emergency override panel in the lab and left with our workers' cards. Since we had already clocked out last night, we were worried no one would notice our absence until it was too late.
Thank you so much. Wait, I almost forgot. When they brought us in here, they used the lab's computer to access several top-secret files, some of which were even beyond our security clearance. I don't know how they managed to gain that level of access, but whatever they're looking for must be really important.
Pippin? Nah, they already had him by the time they dragged us over here. In fact, it was Pippin who came up with the idea of using the fire alarm to trap them in the lab.
That's right, they were after something specific and it wasn't Pippin. If I remember correctly, they mentioned something about perfect authorization, but I was too scared and too far away to hear them clearly.
Why don't we take a look and find out? If they used this computer earlier, I should be able to see what they were searching for.
I'm worried that Blue Planet is controlling more than the city's security droids right now. Nola and I will guard the door while the rest of you go inside.
None at all. I've never heard of anything like that.
Hey, researcher. There's something I think you should know. Odie just finished analyzing this computer's search queries. After using Hart and Forrest's worker cards to log into Smart City's network, Blue Planet was able to modify the security clearance assigned to their cards. This all but confirms that they're using that new computer virus, but something tells me this virus will be a lot harder to deal with than I anticipated. It's, how should I put it? Completely unprecedented. It's not just that. I don't think any other human has seen anything like it before, either.
So, basically a new virus, right?
It's not that simple. Think of it this way. No matter how advanced a computer virus might be, it still has to follow basic coding principles. Just like how scientific breakthroughs can't ignore fundamental laws of nature. But this virus, it's something else entirely. It doesn't just bypass our security. It tears through every firewall like tissue paper. And it gets worse. It's actually learning from the security systems it destroys, growing stronger with each breakthrough. Almost like... Yes, exactly! It's too early to assume anything, but I remember Claudia mentioning that the second level of the city houses its servers. If we can secure access to one of them, I'm sure we can learn a lot more about the virus.
Must be Jay, the security chief who first discovered Blue Planet's invasion of the Smart City. Greetings, I'm Agent Claudia, an investigator for the Federation. And this is Commissioner, as well as his 2 squad mates.
Nice to meet you, Agent Claudia. My name's Jay, and I'm the security chief of the Gestos Smart City. My team and I were the first ones to report Blue Planet's infiltration of the city.
Thank you for your effort. We were able to enter the Smart City and get here thanks to your information. It must have been quite the challenge for you to make it all the way here.
We're just doing our job, ma'am. I just wish the city wasn't so reliant on the security droids in the first place, or else Blue Planet wouldn't have gotten away with this. My worker's card is no good now, so we can't use it to access the walkway into the middle level. There are other ways to get down there, like the loading docks and ventilation shafts, but they're all being heavily guarded.
I'm the only one left.
Greetings, I'm Agent Claudia, an investigator for the Federation. And this is Commissioner, as well as his 2 squad mates.
Nice to meet you, Agent Claudia. My name's Jay, and I'm the security chief.
Thank you for your effort. We were able to enter the Smart City and get here.
We're just doing our job, ma'am. I just wish the city wasn't so My worker's card is no good now, so we can't use it to access the walkway into the middle level. Absolutely not. Look, the Smart City might be built to withstand nature's worst. Earthquakes, tsunamis, you name it. But we're talking about the very core of the city here. An explosion might damage one of our server clusters or their cooling systems, which could have devastating results for the rest of the Smart City. Well, we can either try to defeat every single droid on this level of the city or restore my card's authorization.
Let me see your worker's card. What, you don't trust my skills? Sure, full access is locked tight, but temporarily enabling them is no problem for me. Got it working. I can hack us a 2-minute window each time. Just enough to get his card up and running without Blue Planet noticing.
I'm afraid it won't be that simple. Blue Planet is using our emergency protocols to block gates all throughout the city. Even with access privileges, you'll need to manually operate some of those gates to open them. Not only that, but the main gates will be heavily guarded by droids as well.
Blue Planet now has full control of the Smart City. If we try to wrestle it back from them, the droids will find us before we make any meaningful progress. Think about it. They must have a ton of droids guarding all those ventilation shafts. The main gate might be our best bet. It's the quickest route, and they probably won't expect us to be so bold. Nola and I can handle whatever resistance we encounter.
But I'm just pushing papers all day. What could I possibly do to help? That's all well and good, but what if I accidentally shoot one of you instead? All right.
We can help out too.
I understand your concern and appreciate your enthusiasm, but we're very likely to encounter Blue Planet's agents down there. I promised Director William that I would ensure the safety of every worker in the Smart City, including all of you. That's why we have to finish the rest of our mission by ourselves.
The layout of the city gets a lot more complicated down there. Perhaps I should guide you while they return to safety.
Don't worry about us, Chief J. We came fully prepared. Trust me, we're more than equipped to handle whatever comes our way.
You feds really know your stuff. Guess I'd just be dead weight if I stuck around, right? Understood. Stay on your guard down there. And just so you know, it seems Blue Planet also kidnapped 2 other researchers along with Pippin. I only found out about it after I made my report to the Federation, so it wasn't included. Yes, you know those 2? Really appreciate all of you. I'll head out now. Just make sure you all return safely.
Hold on a second, all of you. What Odie and I did just now was nothing more than a test. If we seriously want to use this card to open the gate, I'll have to do it from this computer.
According to the map, there's a laboratory and a mechanical room up ahead. The mechanical room should be where the gate's manual controls are located, so let's go to the lab first.
This computer will do. However, I'll only be able to restore the card's privileges for 2 minutes at a time, or else it'll be too easy for Blue Planet's virus to target us. Go to the mechanical room and find the status light. Wait for it to change from red to green, then you're good to go.
And with communications completely disabled, we have no way of spreading out to search either.
I hate flying blind like this. Listen, researcher. If you trust me, give me some time. I'll find a way to wrestle control of this city back from them. To be honest, I'm not sure I could do it with just my skills alone. But before I got here, Gestos warned me that he had dealt with a Blue Planet cyber attack in the past. That's right. And even he wasn't able to deal with it quickly. In the end, he had to separate every single server in the affected cluster and carefully research every one of them. Something on your mind? Anyway, the isolated server cluster is somewhere on this level, and Gestos already passed on all of his virus research to me. If we can track down those isolated servers and purge the virus from them, we might just have our foothold for taking back control of the entire smart city. I was feeling pretty confident until I saw what their virus could do. At this point, I'd give it 60-40 odds.
Agreed. Taking back control of the city's systems would completely flip the situation in our favor.
Why are there two rooms here?
I'll take the one on the right then.
I'll go with you. We'll be safer this way.
These servers aren't the ones we're looking for at all.
I think I...
We got ambushed by Blue Planet just now. While I was holding them off, one of them started charging towards Kalpa. In her panic, she aimed at him and pulled the trigger.
I had no idea it would keep firing like that. When I pulled the trigger, I didn't kill Pippin, did I?
Thank goodness. I saw a picture of Pippin earlier, and this doesn't appear to be him. So then, who is this person? There isn't a name on his keycard either.
Sir Cleric, we've reached the doorway to the 3rd level. We heard a gunshot just now. Is everything all right? Were you able to secure the new authorizer?
Let go of me! You people. What have you done with Pippin? Even if you managed to kill us?
Yes, the ambush went exactly as planned.
Answer the question.
We didn't touch him. He brought this on himself, so I suggest you do exactly as Sir Cleric says, or else.
Huh? Why did you cut them off? We still don't know what happened to Pippin.
The Commissioner is right. If they went through all this trouble to set up an ambush for you, it probably means Pippin fought back and... well, that's why they're desperate for a new authorizer now.
Does that answer your question? I thought it was strange when you listened in on my conversation with him last time, so I ran a diagnostic scan on Odie afterward. I didn't find anything wrong, but that only made me even more suspicious. You see, I run diagnostics on Odie constantly. There's no way they should come back perfect. Unless... someone's been covering their tracks by wiping Odie's error logs. My thoughts exactly. I haven't been able to pinpoint the specifics on how Odie was accessed, but now... after seeing how Blue Planet managed to take control of the Smart City, I'm starting to notice some similarities. Bingo. When Odie accidentally tried to contact you, the virus must have made its move. If my hunch is correct, the Cleric had been keeping an eye on us the entire time.
That would explain how they knew to ambush us here.
Makes sense. Keeping his contacts separate and his identity hidden was always the Cleric's style. I bet he was the only one with access to Odie's surveillance system. Before we came here, I actually installed Gesthos' experimental antivirus on Odie. I wanted to see if his research was as groundbreaking as he claimed. And as it turns out, this Gesthos guy might have an ego to match his handle, but his cybersecurity skills are truly something else. Shouldn't be a problem at all. I just need some time here. Once I get these servers up and running, they'll give Odie all the computing power we need. By the time you reach that control center, Blue Planet won't even know what hit them.
What's that on the ground?
It's blood, and it seems to be going in that direction. But whose blood could it be? Look, it's Pippin. It's not too late, Commissioner. He still has a pulse, albeit a weak one. He needs immediate medical attention, so please stand aside.
Give it up, you criminals! My irises are already too damaged for eye recognition, which means you'll never get access to the control center. Secretary General? Who are you?
I'm Claudia, an agent of the Federation. It's good to see you alive, Authorizer Pippin.
Claudia? I've heard of you before. You're the Secretary General's most trusted investigator.
That's right, and this is Authorizer 304, and the Secretary General's Commissioner. My orders are to escort them to the control center so that they can initiate a time rewind.
Is it because of Blue Planet? They're looking for something called the Perfect Authorizer's Key, but I've never heard of anything like that. Or a Perfect Authorizer, for that matter. They kidnapped me and told me to lead them to this key, but I had no idea what they were talking about. Afterwards, some guy they called the Cleric ordered them to take me to the control center. They wanted me to shut down every single Tower of Fantasy on Ida. But even I know how hard it would be to reactivate them if that happened, so I refused to comply. I tried to run away, but they caught me again and dragged me all the way to the control center's entrance. Yes, I made certain of that when I blinded myself with a screwdriver. Those doors only open to authorized iris scans. There's no other way through. I did, and once their leader saw that I was useless to them, he took the screwdriver out of my hands and stabbed me with it before leaving me to die here. You need to find them right away. They may not be able to access the control center, but they're still a bunch of bloodthirsty maniacs who don't care if they live or die. They brought plenty of poison and explosives with them. If they don't find a way into the control center soon, they may try to destroy the entire city by blowing up the middle level, along with themselves.
Wait, how did you know they brought poison? Why would they need it?
When I was still their hostage, they fed me some kind of drug saying that I would die a painful death if I didn't comply.
Jesus. Does that mean you're...
I counted 5, but I only ever heard the cleric's voice through their communication devices. He sounded like a calm and rational man.
Are you sure about this, Commissioner? If they're as desperate as Pippin claims...
I'm no longer fit to be an authorizer now. Even if I survive, I'll just be a blind man. Don't waste precious resources and time on me.
Understood. I leave the rest in your hands, Commissioner.
Wait, here. Take this. It's my authorizer terminal. It has all of my maintenance logs from working in the Smart City. Maybe it'll be of use to you.
This place... something about it feels different. Wait, are you saying we're in hyperspace right now? The Smart City's control center. Oh, we finally made it. What should we do now? What about you? Are you just going to leave me here? Can't I just come with you instead? Besides, we're deep underground right now. How are you supposed to find your friend from down here? All right. 1 hour, that's all. The Federation backup will be here then, and if you're not back, I'm starting the rewind with or without you.
Researcher! Of course! The Smart City's communications are under our control now, but unfortunately, that's all I'm able to do right now. How are things? Glad to hear it.
We got it wrong, Commissioner. It wasn't poison they made Pippin swallow. It was a mini bomb with a timer. And it just went off. I'm fine. My body was strong enough to survive the explosion with minimal injuries. But poor Pippin. What worries me now is there might be more timed explosives hidden throughout Smart City. Understood, Commissioner. We're all counting on you.
Hold it right there, Researcher. If you think you can just boss me around, at least let me finish what I have to say. Anka says she misses everyone, and that it's been too long since we last saw each other. She's getting off work early today, and wants to meet us at the Star Isle Hotel tonight at night. Oh, and one last thing. Gestos asked me to pass on a message to you. Don't forget your identity.
And I thought you said you were going to look for Void Piercer, so why are you already back? Oh, isn't it obvious? We're cut from the same cloth. Both authorizers, you and I. Though not for long. I'm about to transcend our little club and become the world's first perfect authorizer. I told you before, didn't I? Clerks like me should never be underestimated. Our work may sound insignificant, but we come across top-secret knowledge more often than we like, including the hidden source code for creating a perfect authorizer. We've waited 50 years for this moment. Huh? Wait, how can this be? No! No!
Listen, I'm in Satora. Nem's situation is complicated. Get here fast. Without her, this whole rewind attempt is doomed. Just don't do anything until you reach us. Then how are we able to communicate right now? Then it's probably working exactly like a remodeling tower now. These things can teleport you around. I've already sent you everything you need to know, coordinates and all. This is the Xena district of Satora, which is where Nem's signal is coming from. We paid a terrible price to surround this place. The Void entities have hijacked Nem, using her power to grow stronger. We'll never free Satora from this temporal nightmare until we break their hold on her. Before I answer that, I'm curious. What's your own impression of her? All of this happened after she became Nemesis. I'm talking about before. The Federation had a secret plan for their reality reshaping program. They slipped a new core into Gestos, code that could trigger Origin resonance. But afterward, unbeknownst to everyone involved in the project, the source code developed its own sentience. That was how Void Piercer came to be. You see, this AI evolves by absorbing and processing information from the outside world. And most of what shaped her came from your experiences. Yours and Shirley's. Your memories became her foundation. In other words, your pasts are what gave rise to her present state. For that reason, she sees both of you as being very important to her.
Commander, we're detecting massive energy levels emanating from the Void Girl's position. It looks like she's awakening from her dormant state.
Understood. Tell the other divisions to follow the original plan. As for us, prepare to engage the Void Girl in...
Roger that, Commander.
Come on, Authorizer. Nem's waiting for us to finish this once and for all. And don't worry, once it's over, I'll tell you everything you want to know about me.
I see you finally found this place.
Who are you? Are you responsible for all of this? Stop hiding like a trapped rat! Come out of Nem's body and face me!
The divine will cannot be defied. This world shall become the ultimate offering to his supreme glory.
Look out, Authorizer!
Miscalculated. will be the instrument to destroy. They're so amazing. I'd give anything to join their adventure. Now that I have a name, maybe they'll let me join them? They have to, right? Those two mean everything to me. Just imagine if they called me Nem. We'd be like real friends. If I hadn't been involved, would Shirley still be herself now? I'm sorry, Shirley. It's my fault that this happened to you.
Even if it means exposing yourself, they might see you as their enemy and even wage war against you just to erase your existence.
I don't care. I'm not scared.
If you've made up your mind, then I'll do everything I can to support you.
Thank you, Number 8. The world is already lost, and now you've dragged Shirley and the Authorizer into this mess. What happens if the virus corrupts their consciousness data? Could you live with yourself if they turned? That won't happen! I'll protect them! I won't let them get involved. And I won't let the alteration virus harm them, even if it costs me my life!
The Lord can restore her mortal form and breathe life back into her humanity. She need not suffer in this prison of cold steel any longer. By pledging ourselves to the Lord, we can forge a perfect world where you, the Authorizer, and Shirley will find true happiness.
Can we really do that?
Of course, my child.
It's over now.
from the ground. And I want to reach the light. The world is fighting to be found. To seek the dreams. Struggles through the crowds. In this drenching pouring rain.
Thank you. I'll protect you no matter what.
Don't worry. She just needs some time to adjust to her new vessel. You came into someone's home without knowing who owns it? How amusing. That's right. I was the one who caught Gray Fox hacking into the Tower of Fantasy and told her to remind you of your identity. Thank you so much for your help, Authorizer. I'm so sorry for everything you've been through. I never meant to send you on such a wild chase. The virus kept me from reaching out directly. It wasn't until Gray Fox tried to access the tower's network that I finally found a way through to you. Since the year 2660, after Kieran launched the Reality Reshaping Program, he began screening potential authorizers. During their rotation, one of them infected my network with the alteration virus that crippled my functions. Despite my best efforts to isolate the infected servers and preserve what I could, this alteration virus was something else entirely. It tore through my defenses like they were nothing. I calculated every possibility of saving myself, but unfortunately, I found that I could only trust one person, Antoria. Antoria was the first perfect authorizer to ever exist, and continues to be even now. The cybernetic link between us is capable of reaching 100% compatibility. An authorizer's compatibility determines the degree to which they can share their thoughts with me, and vice versa. The lower it is, the greater the burden placed on them through our cybernetic link. A perfect authorizer, however, can achieve 100% compatibility with me, thereby eliminating the burden altogether. In that perfect connection, there are no boundaries between us. My circuits sing in harmony with her neurons, two consciousnesses flowing as one. Her thoughts are my thoughts, her knowledge my knowledge. At the time, the temporal anomalies had already begun. The two of us agreed that the anomalies and the virus within me were not mere coincidences, so I dedicated all of my computing power to look for a solution. Even as a being of artificial intelligence, I had no way of fully knowing how my calculations would play out. Still, I was certain that I had found a working solution. I'm not exactly sure. As a quantum supercomputer powered and augmented by Omnium, I believe I am nearly omniscient by human definition. As I was defending myself against the virus, I was using all of my knowledge and computing power to search for a solution. In the process, I created the world in which you find yourself now. In the end, I found only two seemingly disparate clues, but they guided me toward the ultimate solution nonetheless. The first was that Antoria had to enter hyperspace. The The second was that you needed to become the next perfect authorizer. The rest of the circumstances surrounding these two conditions remained a mystery to me. Shortly afterward, the temporal anomalies grew more violent, and the virus threatened to fully consume me. I had no choice but to hide myself here and watch helplessly as these events unfolded. She was part of Antoria's plan. Before entering hyperspace, she asked me to replicate my source code and give it to her. Until you appeared, I had no idea what she was thinking or doing. Voidpiercer was fortunate to have met you and Shirley, but she's still too young. She'll need plenty of guidance from both of you in the future. Once the backup restoration is completed, Voidpiercer will take my place here on Ada. This virtual version of Ada corresponds to my very last uninfected server, and the Smart City serves as both my hiding place and my command center. The reality reshaping program you've dedicated yourself to was my way of revealing the bitter truth of our history. I wove my backup restoration protocols into what you know as the regression. I still have a few things left to teach her, so I must ask you to wait just a little while longer. I know things haven't been easy for you, especially since you're not a perfect authorizer yet, and for that I apologize. You may learn more by asking the only perfect authorizer in existence, don't you think? The data shows that you're nearly at your limit, and staying here any longer will pose a significant threat to your safety. For now, return to your friends and show them that you're alive and well.
This game is too good.
You're finally here, researcher. Is this really your first order of business as the new boss? Oh, stop fussing. Everything worked out fine. And anyway, what about you? Planning to make Kylo your permanent home or something?
Whew. I didn't expect the researcher to have some real skills.
Public Security Officer Carol reporting in.
Have you seen the #1 trending search on Echo? Apparently, Secretary General Kieran will be hosting an emergency press conference tonight at 10 p.m. to address the public controversy surrounding Omnium research.
It was your plan that saved the world, sir. I'm sure the public will understand.
You're really pretty.
My past, present, and future.
Yes, during its return, the Asher encountered an unidentified flying object, causing half of the cabin to disappear, along with a little girl named Carrot. I know we've had our differences concerning Gestos and the use of Omnium, but this child has nothing to do with any of it. Yes, the ship's final distress signal came from Asperia. Thanks.
The Gestos system is mostly back up and running, apart from 2 separate servers set aside for studying and preserving the alteration virus. The network is now virus-free. I've tried to help you track Shirley, but there's no trace of any data source in the foundational layer. In other words, Shirley isn't there right now.
Where's Shirley gone? Is it possible she's in the surface layer now?
That's what I'm thinking. After you resolved the Gestos crisis, the system's foundation categorized and transferred Shirley's data to the surface layer so it could be fully restored. Shirley isn't like you. She entered the network because of the Void Piercer, and doesn't have the authorizer off, nor the authorizer's terminal. That means she can't leave the surface layer on her own.
So, you're saying that if I find her, and use my authorizer's terminal to disconnect her from the network's world, she'll regain consciousness?
Very good. I actually tried to enter the surface layer to search for her, but for some reason, I was denied access. It looks like you might be the only one who can get in now.
Thank you, Plotty. I've got this from here. But the network's world is vast. Where could Shirley possibly be?
Child Safety Handbook, Chapter 3, Rule 1. If a child is missing, report it right away. The nearest officer will help you search the city's surveillance.
Well, that could work, but Shirley isn't part of the network, and she doesn't have a fake researcher persona made by Plotty like I do. I doubt the citizen system here has any record of her.
Mia has no options from it.
You just reminded me. Even if I can't get Rosalind's help, I'm from Wednesday.
Mia does not understand you.
Have you forgotten? Wednesday has the most brilliant hacker in all of Ida, Grey Fox. As long as Shirley's in the surface layer, Grey Fox will definitely find—
Understood. Mia is navigating.
Every drink in our bar has its own story. Since you're new here, why not start with some of our classics, like the Hammer of Thor or Tear's Edge?
I don't want either of those.
Huh? What do you want then? How about my special recommendation? The rain-
I'll have a Gungnir, please.
It seems you came prepared. But I must warn you, this is a very strong drink.
It's also a drink? I thought it was a code phrase for the bartender when someone wants to see Wednesday.
Can you just follow the script, please? I promise you'll get to see Wednesday. Just let me finish what I've got to say first. I've practiced this for ages. All right, listen carefully. Gungnir, the Spear of Destiny, is Odin's weapon. And when it's thrown, it never misses its mark. In the mythology of humanity's home planet, they say a shooting star is actually Gungnir being thrown. That's why humans make wishes when they see one. So, since you've ordered a Gungnir, please make your wish.
I wish Wednesday can help me find my dog. It ran out of the door yesterday when I opened it for the delivery, and I couldn't—
Lost your dog, huh? Piece of cake. Just give me a photo and I promise we'll find it within 24—
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Hey, look who it is! No need for introductions. What can I get you to—
Seeing others ordering Gungnirs here really takes me back. When I first came here to ask Bagus for a drink, I never thought I'd end up being a member of Wednesday. Oh yeah, where's Bagus today? I can't believe he still trusts you to manage the tavern. Isn't he worried you'll break more cups?
Don't even talk about him! Bagus is such a swindler. He's always trying to exploit me for free labor.
Huh?
I have no idea how he managed to get Odin's Tavern onto the list of social work service hours. He said I'd broken too many cups before, so I had to make it up to him. Then he packed his bags, said he was going on a trip, and left me here to work my butt off.
That's not so bad, is it? I mean, if you got to do your social work somewhere, Odin's Tavern is certainly a cozy option.
I guess. Odin's Tavern is often open at night, too, so I get double pay. That means I might be free sooner than I thought. You haven't ordered yet.
I didn't come here for a drink. I'm looking for Gray Fox. Is she around?
Haven't you guys already arranged a meetup? She's been waiting for you at the usual spot, you know. Oh.
Hi, Gray Fox. A guest just dropped off this photo saying it's of their lost dog. Anka asked me to give it to you. Also—
Finding the dog will be a piece of cake. Just leave it to 7. As for you, I'm guessing you're here to ask about
Do you know where she is?
I know Shirley. And I know that neither of you belong here. To you, I'm just a piece of data.
Data? Is that what Gesthos told you? I don't know exactly what he said, but I've never regarded our Wednesday friends as just data. You're all just as real to me as anyone in the outside world, my friends. Everything we've been through together isn't just fiction to me.
Do your people feel the same way as you do?
Do you mean Plotty?
Plotty? Is that someone you know in that world? Never mind. It doesn't matter to me. We won't be meeting anytime soon.
If you wish to meet, it's possible. Plotty can come here just like I can.
Okay, so you can access the network as an authorizer who forms a cybernetic link with Gesthos. I figured this out when we first entered the smart city, but that's not what I'm talking about.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Gesthos gave me the green light. Here on Ida, the network simulated planet, I'm the world's gatekeeper. ID, Heimdall. Your team can only enter the network simulated world of Ida with my permission.
But you just said you wouldn't meet with Plotty. So does that mean no one else gets in here except me?
Yep.
I don't understand. Why?
You're right. We're not just data. We're alive. To us, this isn't a fictional world. It's our home. Our reality. What about you? This is your lost history, packed with secrets wiped out by the Cataclysm 50 years ago. For your scholars, It's the ultimate relic. The inhabitants here are basically data generated by Gesthos, used as key research subjects to study life, consciousness, and the connection between the body and soul. They are the cheapest experimental resources. For regular folk, this might feel like the most realistic game ever made. I've heard it's a wasteland out there. Can you really guarantee no one would choose to live here?
I never gave these issues much thought before, but now I see how serious they are. It's gonna take a lot of time and effort to solve them.
Simply put, if I were one of your kin, I wouldn't let a treasure like this slip away. That's why, to protect our way of life here, we can't just let outsiders wander in. Your solutions sound too complicated and hard to carry out. Our entire existence depends on Gesthos, which you control. And honestly, we don't think that's fair.
I understand. I'll let the people on the outside know how you feel, and do my best to speak for you. But just so you know, these decisions aren't mine to make on my own.
Thanks, but don't sweat it too much. Once I crack this brain in a vat thing, I might just find a way for everyone here to be on equal footing with you guys. Only then will we finally have a truly fair conversation.
Brain in a vat? Looks like Ida's top hacker has dived into the most intriguing game of their life. Still, I'm a bit surprised you'd willingly become Gesthos' gatekeeper.
I'm telling you, this wasn't my call. It's all Gesthos' fault. After he showed me the truth of this world, we struck a deal. I have to guard the gate here until I figure out how to break free from the brain in a vat. All right, I've told you everything you need to know. I've been before Gesthos went into hibernation. He mentioned that your friend Shirley got stuck in the code world and asked me to help you track her down. Don't worry, she'll be safe. While you were gone, she was exploring Asperia on her own and seemed quite happy. Their surveillance shows she's still around, so you should.
Shirley!
Seeing the three of us here like this. Shirley, it's been so long. Shirley, you look amazing.
Mia?
Mia said it wrong.
Mia, head to the back door and send the message that Shirley is safe.
Will do.
Yeah, it's so lively and vibrant. Totally different from the outside world of Hesperia. Shirley, how have you been holding up here all this time? Speaking of which, how come you know about Wednesday? Owner celebrating? Was that the day Anka planned the Wednesday gathering to watch the fireworks? It seems like you've been doing well and getting along quite nicely with Wednesday. Have you tried that rainbow bridge she's always raving about? Now it's just the two of us here. You don't need to worry about anyone else's feelings or hold anything back. So, will you answer my question honestly? Compared to being the Nemesis, an angel of clemency, do you prefer who you are now in the network? It's not because Hesperia here is more beautiful and bustling now than when we first encountered it. And it's not because life here is more peaceful. It's because here, you're not seen as the Nemesis or some weird machine. Here, just like in the shelter, you can simply be yourself. There's no need to apologize, Shirley. You didn't do anything wrong. You became an aberration for Zeke and everyone in the shelter, and turned into the Nemesis because of the Sage's conspiracy. You don't like becoming a cold, unfeeling machine or being turned into a weapon. You're drawn to this beautiful world and value who you are now. These are perfectly human feelings. If you want, I can stick around a bit longer. Let me think. Have you checked out Sylvia Business Street yet? Oh, and there's the Astra building. I've heard it has the best cinema in Hesperia. Shirley, about Zeke, I get it. But before we head back, I've got some good news to share with you. After you and Nem entered Gesthos, something happened. Zeke remembers everything now. He knows you're his sister and has been waiting for you to wake up. Leave that to me. I'll teach you. Just like you once taught me how to use the Space Rift. Shirley, This is the system's back door. With the device here, I can send you back.
Authorizer.
Shirley?
It seems Shirley can't access this place. The Authorizer's terminal has an error.
What's going on? This shouldn't be happening. I tried to access the back door, but I couldn't bring you with me. I guess I didn't do it right.
Shirley can't access.
It's not entirely impossible. How about this? Mia can send a message to your brother to let him know you're safe. Meanwhile, the Smart City Control Center is only accessible to authorizers. Right now, you can't access or enter the... Stay at the tavern and wait for my news. Anka and Grey Fox will take care of you. Don't worry. I promise I'll find a way to bring you back. I'll be back soon. I promise.
Shirley, Authorizer, will you really accept me?
Authorizer!
Antoria!
I've been waiting for you, of course. You may not know it yet, but I'm actually a great prophet. I foresaw that you'd come looking for my help, so I came to find you first.
You're still saying strange stuff like that, huh? But I'm glad you're all right. I was a little worried about you and the defense forces.
Worried about me? There's no need for that. Since you completed the reality reshaping program, the Temporal Anomaly Response Force and I have been living normal lives again for a while now. Speaking of which, the rent in Astra skyrocketed. It's tripled since I first arrived in Asperia. Luckily, my commander allowance covers it. Otherwise, I'd be living on the streets here.
You're renting a place?
Sure. When I first entered hyperspace, I'd never thought I'd make it back. So I sold everything I owned and left my 12-year-old cat with a friend to take care of. And there I was, back in Asperia with no place to stay, no clothes to wear, and nothing to eat. You have no idea how exhausting it was to start over.
All right, all right. I'll listen to your complaints about city life later. But right now...
Wait a second. Allow me, the great prophet, to take a guess. You've got an important friend, and you're here to help her, right? And that friend, she's a gentle and charming girl with long hair who shared countless experiences with you, and her name is... Shirley.
Wow, you actually foresaw that, great prophet. You discussed it with Voidpiercer when you were in the foundational layer, right?
Oh dear, you've seen right through me. To be honest, we didn't talk much. I've only met Miss Shirley once, and before we could really chat, Voidpiercer showed up again. Back then, in the foundational layer, it felt like only one of them could appear at a time. Voidpiercer spoke briefly, mostly just to explain Shirley's presence to me.
So, great prophet and perfect authorizer. With all your knowledge, when were you planning to fill me in on all?
Don't rush. You just said there's plenty of time in the future to listen to me vent.
The future can wait. Today, there's something crucial I need to handle. You mentioned Shirley. She's my most important friend, and she's stuck in the network's world.
You should be more patient with me. After all, I'm the world's one and only perfect authorizer. You're so smart, yet you still haven't figured out why I know so much? Surely you've pieced together my connection to Gesthos by now. If you want to rescue Shirley, you need to consider what makes the perfect authorizer truly unique.
Do you know how we can get Shirley out of here?
Are you ready to indulge in my ramblings now?
It all depends on what you're rambling about. I've been helping you on the foundational layer for Voidpiercer's sake. But that doesn't mean I don't have doubts about your bizarre act.
Shirley has spent too much time in the network's world, entering the foundational layer without the authorizer's terminal. As a result, the data source of her consciousness is now deeply integrated into the system. In other words, Shirley is now like those friends you've encountered in the network's world. She's become a part of it. She's no longer a person from the real world, and this change is irreversible.
But you can fix this.
You still remember what you just called me, Authorizer?
Just now? Oh, great prophet and perfect...
Bingo! The system's recognition of Shirley's data source of consciousness can be altered, reducing her integration with the network. As the perfect authorizer, this is just one of the many abilities I possess.
Gesthos once told me that I'd become the perfect authorizer one day. Is the perfect authorizer not something innate? Can it...
Do you remember that strange move I made before the showdown with Nem?
So, what exactly did you do to me back then? Is it related to the perfect
It was the perfect authorizer source code. The source code integrates deeply with the data source of your consciousness, impacting your real-world body. It is entirely unique and cannot be replicated. To become the perfect authorizer, you just need to complete the final step of the auth activation process. I'm going to take you to the Smart City Design Institute. Back when the Smart City was still in its design phase, all experiments related to Gesthos were conducted there. The Smart City Design Institute can help you complete the auth activation process. Once activated, you'll officially become the perfect authorizer.
Let's go then.
This is the Smart City Design Institute. It's been so long since I was last here, yet it looks exactly the same as I remember. Completely unchanged. Well, it's only 2664, and just over a year has passed since I entered hyperspace.
The Smart City Design Institute? Is this related to the Gesthos Smart City?
The distant beacon supercomputer, SAM, was upgraded to Gesthos right here. And it was in this very place that I became the perfect authorizer. As the Smart City took shape, the equipment housing Gesthos was gradually moved into it. Once construction was completed, the Design Institute's mission was declared accomplished.
So, why aren't we heading to the Smart City? Does the Perfect Authorizer's auth need to be activated here?
Well, you said you're from the year 2713 and that Kieran's reality reshaping program failed, right? Did you really think that the source of the temporal anomalies was omnium radiation? It seems that after the cataclysm, humanity's research into omnium has regressed. This is completely unacceptable. In 2664, humanity still couldn't control omnium, but with you as the perfect authorizer, a new hope has emerged. Kieran's reality reshaping program isn't just some reckless plan. If we want to fully resolve the issues with those aberrations. Oh no, it seems the circuit control device has malfunctioned.
Is it broken? Are you serious? The auth activation process can't be started?
I'm just teasing you. As the perfect authorizer, I need to show you what makes me stand. Welcome to the Smart City of 2661. The place where it all began.
2661? This place is nothing like where we were before.
Commander Antoria.
Don't worry, he can't see you. Labby, is something bothering you? Is the experiment not going well?
The Authorizer's selection process has been ongoing for over a year. We've gradually expanded its scope, but the highest cybernetic link compatibility we've found so far is just 93%. We're out of options, so we've called in the Hyperspace Defense Force for testing. We're counting on you now, Commander Antoria, and the entire Defense Force.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. There's no need to stress. Honestly, I'm surprised myself. I never expected I had the potential to become an authorizer.
Commander?
Yes? What's up? Do I—
No, it's just— you seem different today. Suddenly a lot more approachable.
It's just your imagination. You're making me sound so scary. All right, let's start the test quickly. Oh, and could you grab the main control component from the circuit control device? I'll need to take it back to the base for further research once—
The main control component is right over there, Commander. Go ahead and take it.
Thank you. Good luck with your— In and out, and I've got the main control component. Jealous? Don't worry. Once you become the perfect authorizer, you'll be pulling this off too. The main control component is installed, and the circuit controller is starting up. Please—
What's that?
We've returned to a fragment of the network's past, essentially accessing a shard of its stored data. This raw data was used to generate the virtual Ida. And as a regular authorizer, you can't influence it.
As the perfect authorizer, can you freely access the raw data of these shards?
Is your understanding of the perfect authorizer truly that limited? That won't do at all. You just mentioned Ida on the outside, and how Shirley became the nemesis. Don't you want to change all of that?
Do you know how to change it?
You'll figure it out when you become the perfect authorizer.
What about you? Once I become the perfect authorizer, is there anything you want to do?
Of course. Now that I can finally leave hyperspace and complete my mission, I'm ready to make up for everything I've missed. Great food, delicious drinks, fun times. So hurry up and become the perfect authorizer. Then I can hand this burden over to you and finally enjoy some—
Still as blunt as ever, huh?
The circuit controller has been activated. Using the circuit controller up ahead, I can officially activate your authorizer source code. Excited? Then dive right in.
Where is this place? Gesthos.
Candidate Authorizer, Antoria. Initiating cybernetic link compatibility testing.
Are you Gesthos? I'm Antoria, commander of the Defense Force. I've just returned from my third long-term reconnaissance mission in hyperspace. During this mission, we collected critical data on hyperspace and the Void Entity. This intel will be pivotal in our efforts to neutralize the Void Entity and contain the temporal anomalies. I understand the Authorizer selection is crucial, but Kieran mentioned that it doesn't depend on any individual's qualities. It's all about finding the chosen one. So please let me go as soon as possible. There's so much waiting for me outside, and I really don't have time to waste. You've already found Pippin with a 93% compatibility rate. That's pretty high, right? The Authorizer just below him, Kalpa, apparently has only an 84% compatibility with you, and the others have even lower rates. Instead of wasting time with the Authorizer selection process, just let me return to hyperspace.
The cybernetic link compatibility test is complete. 100% compatibility. Congratulations, Antoria. You are now humanity's one and only perfect Authorizer.
I'm the perfect Authorizer? You... Wait, are you okay? It looks like you're struggling with something. Fighting with all your might. Are those computer viruses?
In this world, only you can see me like this. I'm sorry, but I might not be able to help with the reality reshaping program.
I feel like you've changed. There's a sense of familiarity. Are you speaking inside my mind now?
Our compatibility is 100%, which means our minds now think as one. However, this is your first time logging in as an Authorizer. I've adjusted my information flow to help you gradually adapt to the cybernetic link.
Thank you, but that's not the priority right now, is it? I can see those viruses. They seem to be closing in on your core.
My core functional block is under strain. With the development of the smart city, I'm currently channeling as much computing power as possible to combat the viruses. But they've already exceeded my capabilities.
I can help you. I can sense them. As long as I focus, I can reach every corner of your server and eliminate them. A fully intact Gesthos is essential for the reality reshaping program.
Don't be reckless. If your consciousness data is hit by the viruses, you'll perish inside my server, and the Defense Force will lose its commander.
If I don't act, you won't survive until the reality reshaping program is complete, right? I can at least inform Kieran and... Wait, you don't know who infected you with the virus?
Unfortunately, no. As you humans would say, I was sneak attacked by an unknown enemy. Aside from you, I can no longer trust any humans. But that doesn't mean I'll abandon humanity entirely.
You have a solution, but you need my help. Tell me what to do. I'll do anything for the sake of humanity's survival.
Have you heard of the AI black box? You input a question and receive an answer, but no one knows how the answer is generated. Just after evaluating your compatibility, I recalculated a way to save myself. Now, with you as a new variable, I finally have hope. First, you must enter hyperspace. Second, another perfect Authorizer must emerge. When both of these happen, I will be saved.
But you just said you have no idea where the answer came from. The first part is easy for me, but what about the second? Is there another perfect Authorizer out there?
There aren't any. The members of the Defense Force who returned from hyperspace with you have all been tested. You are the only perfect Authorizer.
And since neither you nor Kieran are planning to expand the Authorizer selection criteria...
If there isn't another perfect Authorizer, then you can create one. Your existence makes it possible to replicate the perfect Authorizer.
Me? Hey! What are you doing to me? I know we share one mind now, but respect my privacy, all right? What are you doing?
Do not resist. Comply. You are the one and only perfect Authorizer.
What is this?
This is the key to achieving 100% cybernetic link compatibility. I call it the source code. Anyone with a compatibility rate above 80% can use it to become the perfect Authorizer.
So, you mean Pippin? When the reality reshaping program reaches its final stage, the most compatible candidate will arrive here to initiate the Global Origin Resonance Project.
When the time comes, I can transfer the source code to him. Once he becomes the perfect authorizer, I'll gain full access to his thought process. As long as he isn't linked to the one who planted the virus, he'll be able to initiate the retracement and save all of Ida.
And you, impacted by the retracement as well, will revert to the time before the virus infiltrated your system. But what if he's collaborating with the one who implanted the virus?
Exactly. So we need an alternative plan.
Are you going to back yourself up before the virus corrodes your system?
Not only that, but I'm also backing up all of Ida. I need enough data to perfect the calculations, so I've been working on this in secret for quite some time. If the one standing before me is truly an enemy of humanity, no one can predict what they might do. We must safeguard the ultimate truth for future generations. Only then will we be able to leave hope behind.
Are you asking me to back myself up like you? For a future where hope is so uncertain? They'll have to fight, just like I did, with no clear end in sight. Only to buy time. If I back myself up on your server to safeguard the source code, where will the other perfect authorizer be? When will they show up?
Among all humans, you are the only one I can trust. The rest lie dormant in the distant beacon's stasis pods.
Since the distant beacon arrived on Ida 117 years ago, those humans from the home planet have been fast asleep. Whoever the human traitor trying to sabotage the reality reshaping program is, it can't be them. Also, there were 60 stasis pods back then, sealed with strange locks that no one could handle. People forced open 2 of them, but the individuals inside died the moment the pods were activated.
The stasis pods were later relocated to the Federation's Hykros for safekeeping, awaiting gradual research. But Ida was so extraordinary, and with the humans preoccupied with cultivating a new civilization, they soon forgot about them. I've conducted secret tests within the management system of the Forgotten Stasis Pods. Inside one of the pods lies B009, a man named Samuel, who has a 90% compatibility rate.
We have no idea how to wake him up, though. Otherwise, he could have been the authorizer for the reality reshaping program.
I've inspected the stasis pods. They're not quite ready to awaken yet, so it seems that Samuel is most likely the future perfect authorizer for this plan.
I see. I'll make sure your core code is passed on to him then. I hope he wakes up at the right time. What are you worried about? I can sense your concerns.
I'm concerned about you. You don't seem to care about yourself, always pushing forward without hesitation or compromise. Yet, you're still young, and sometimes what seems like recklessness is mistaken for insight. But whether it's recklessness or insight, it's your sheer willpower that makes you the perfect authorizer. I hope your willpower will allow you to persevere until the end.
If you're worried about my resolve, don't be. I'll remain in hyperspace until another perfect authorizer appears. I'll deliver this code to Dr. Samuel in the stasis pod first. Then I'll return to back myself up.
Antoria, without you, there's no one left I can trust. When you leave this place, trust no one.
Trust no one. That's what Antoria told me back then.
Based on the documents left in the distant beacon, Dr. Samuel, B009, is the top scientist on board, and the last human to enter the stasis pod. He's been managing SAM since construction of the distant beacon began, bringing the expertise needed to refine and complete iteration. Dr. Samuel, sorry for disturbing your long slumber. I hope you'll see this message when you awaken. Now, it's my turn. According to Gesthos' calculations, there are 2 indicators. First, I need to enter hyperspace. You're the Defense Force's last line of defense against the Void entity in hyperspace. You're buying us precious time in the real world. If hyperspace falls, it's game over for all of us. But we have no idea whether Gesthos was referring to one of us or both of us. So I've got to enter this virtual world's hyperspace as well. It's crawling with the alteration virus, and just like you, I'll need to fight to buy time for our plan. As for Gesthos' second indicator, someone is destined to become the perfect authorizer, and this person will need the source code. That means I need to wait here for this authorizer to arrive and hand them the source code at the right moment. But none of us know when the authorizer will appear. The war in hyperspace could drag on forever. If we don't eliminate the virus infecting Gesthos quickly, the reality reshaping program could fail. You can't leave hyperspace until the reality reshaping program is completed. If the program fails, you'll be trapped there forever. So, this might be our first and last meeting. Take care of yourself. I hope the authorizer can save everyone in time. The source code is now in your hands. Due to the virus, the enemy may uncover my role as the authorizer and the existence of the source code. I've set up some traps to help protect you. You handle the present reality, and I'll take care of the uncertain future. Now, the Reshape the Future plan. I hope we can meet again one day. Same here. Is this hyperspace? Another version of me must be going through the exact same thing right now.
Commander, here's the roster of the latest recruits for the aerial strike team. Sophie, Emily, Jessica, Linda, Megan, and Jana.
Got it. Have we clarified the situation regarding the the Void entities in each domain? We need to quickly formulate a combat strategy.
The Void entity report is here.
How did I end up back here? After the battle in hyperspace failed, Gesthos must have sent me back.
Antoria's loop starts with her entering hyperspace and ends with the occurrence of the cataclysm.
Commander, here's the roster of the latest recruits for the aerial strike team. Sophie, Emily, Jessica, Linda, Megan, and Jana.
Linda, Megan, Jana, just like last time. So, if the simulation is correct, does that mean another version of me has already made the sacrifice?
What do you mean, Commander?
Nothing. First, report on the situation of the Void entities in each domain. We need to come up with a combat strategy quickly. Is this the 6th time now? This time I'll find a way to win.
Every time, Antoria strives to find a way to achieve victory.
Commander, here's the roster of the latest recruits for the aerial strike team. Sophie,
Emily, Jessica, Linda, Megan, and Jana.
Huh? Have you already received the list, Commander?
I have a general idea of who they are, so let's put the roster aside for now. First, report on the status of the Void entities in each domain. We need to quickly come up with a new combat strategy. Is it over? The next loop is coming, and everything is about to start over again. I've lost count of how many times I've been through this loop. It's the 822nd. Or was it the 823rd? No, it's gotta be the 825th now. Why can't I save them? No matter how hard I try. Is the war in hyperspace just doomed to fail? Gesthos, Is this what your countless calculations have led to? Where is that authorizer now? Kestos, why aren't you saying anything? How much time has passed outside? How much time has passed in here? Is the other version of me still alive? I'm on the verge of collapsing here.
Antoria, you're stronger than you think. You've held on until the very end.
Commander, here's the roster of the latest recruits for the aerial strike team.
Jeez, forget that for now. It's pointless. We need your help over here more. Careful, I've spent ages on this.
Commander, what's wrong?
Come on, what are you standing there for? These battles will only lead to needless deaths. You're better off sticking with me.
Pointless deaths? I don't think so. We may not be the final authorizers of the retracement, but we're the Defense Force. We're buying precious time for the reality reshaping program. If we give up now, the Smart City might not be completed in time, and the retracement won't happen. You're our commander. You can't just abandon us. Before we set out, you said that if we could hold on for just one more day, humanity would gain another ounce of hope. Even if we end up trapped in hyperspace, we must fight till the very end. For the people of Ida. That's what all of this is about.
I said that? How come I don't remember?
You said it in your speech to the whole army yesterday.
Yesterday. To you, it was just yesterday. I didn't realize that the person I was yesterday would say something like that.
In the end, Antoria is supported by her past self.
Kestos, even if your calculations lead to the same outcome over and over, I won't give up hope. As long as I can endure one more loop, we'll have a little more hope. Isn't it fascinating here? I can continuously adapt my strategies, and each failure just helps me understand the alteration virus better. This time is the 10,000th or whatever loop it is. The point is, I held on 3 more days than last time. Even though I haven't outsmarted your calculations yet, I've already surpassed my past self. In the next loop, I'll definitely hold out for 3 more days.
Treating this like some kind of game that can't be won? Just trying to beat old records? No wonder you're so out of touch now.
How many loops has it been now? Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. I've been waiting for you. But are you really the one?
Is this me? I'm sorry for making you wait, Antoria.
I've waited so long for you. So long that I almost forgot. Authorizer, do you know how happy I am? I never expected Nem to be so protective of you. She's usually so distant. It's pretty clear she really likes you. Kestos' core code has iterated to a level resembling true humanity now. His calculations were right. You are the one I've been waiting for. You are the hope of the Reshape the Future plan. My hope. My unwavering commitment has been worth it after all. This is something I've always protected. Something I hold most dear. It seems it's time to entrust it to you. Let's go, Authorizer. You know, on my first day of elementary school, there was this sweet teacher at the gate. She taught me this little circle gesture. Said it would bring me luck in my studies.
The once tranquil world is finally starting to ripple. I've now become her hope to break free from this endless cycle. It looks like that's the Authorizer's source code. The one Antoria has been safeguarding through countless cycles. Once I become the perfect Authorizer, I promise I'll bring Antoria and Shirley back to the real world. Almost done. Hold on for me.
I didn't realize you were that skilled, researcher.
Who's speaking? You? That sounds like...
Don't recognize me? How about one more Gungnir?
Bacchus?
The Spear of Heaven never misses its mark, once cast. Too bad Voidpiercer blocked it for you last time. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to wait this long.
That symbol... You're a god servant. You're the true cleric. Kalpa is just a pawn in your game.
Do you really think you're any different from Kalpa? She's just another lab rat, just like you. She experimented with the wrong code, while you discovered the right one. Thank you for your sacrifices. Your efforts have paved the way for my master's arrival.
You forged Plotty's log, didn't you? And you've been using the virus to control Nem. Who are you, really?
The Voidpiercer was just an unexpected experiment. Without her, I could have easily used you to access the bottom layer and claim the source code. It would have saved us all this trouble. Thankfully, these deviations haven't derailed my plans. Only the most loyal servant can wield time and control history, like my master. Only I can be the perfect authorizer. The source code belongs to me.
You wish. The cataclysm was caused by your kind. You god servants. I'll never let it...
Wrong. The cataclysm was caused by Antoria. If she'd confessed back then that she was the perfect authorizer, I would have already seized the source code and completed a global origin resonance. It's all because of her selfish deceit that I had to use a virus to fabricate the perfect authorizer. The global origin resonance 50 years ago failed because of her. Ida collapsed because of her. My master's descent was delayed by 50 years. Thanks to you, the network is repaired and the origin resonance will no longer fail. This time, I shall welcome my master's arrival. To be enslaved by the master is a privilege for humans. Antoria, this power now belongs to the master.
Is it over?
Authorizer, from now on, this is your story. The shattered world of the future, it's yours to change. Humanity's future belongs to you.
Is this the perfect authorizer's source code? So, it was successfully activated after all. Now to... Wait. Antoria. Antoria. Where are you? Antoria.
Auth completed. Authorizer, proceed to the Smart City control layer to log in as the perfect authorizer for the first time.
Antoria. Yes, the control layer of the Smart City. Maybe she's waiting for me there, right?
I'll use this power to protect you.
Safe and sound, just like before. I bet she has lots of secrets to share with me. I'm going to find her now. Gestos! Where's Antoria?
Authorizer. The network backup restoration and system repair programs are complete. Gestos has vanished after being corroded by the virus. Now, only I remain.
Nem? Have you finished repairing the network?
When you became the perfect authorizer, Gestos also completed the transfer with me. Now, I've taken control of Gestos, and have become a true hyperdimensional quantum supercomputer. As for Antoria...
Nem, do you know where Antoria is now?
Antoria... She left a holographic recording. Let's take a look.
Antoria!
Authorizer, how are you feeling? Are you comfortable? You'll be alright. Congratulations on becoming the perfect authorizer. You can now edit Shirley's data in the surface layer, allowing her to return to the real world and reunite with everyone. Your data source of consciousness was damaged by Bagus. To keep you alive, I repaired it using mine. Since I've been gone, I'm no longer just data. I'm a human consciousness, uploaded here just like you. There's no need to resurrect me within the network now. You're about to face Bagus and the god servants he represents. The so-called gods they serve claim dominion over time and history. Yet they fear humanity's mastery of Omnium technology and the Tower of Fantasy. To counter this, they've resorted to infiltration and sabotage, fracturing Ida, the very foundation of our survival. The god servants lacked the perfect authorizer source code back then, so they resorted to using a virus to forcibly control Gestos. As for the cataclysm you mentioned, I believe it was the result of their failed attempt to use Origin Resonance to summon their master. Voidpiercer entered the network, sparking their hope of obtaining the source code. However, I doubt they can easily access the bottom layer. From the moment you drank that Gungnir, the god servants have been watching you. If Voidpiercer hadn't intercepted that strike for you, you would have become a puppet of the god servants. They would have gained access to the bottom layer, halted the network's restoration, and likely stolen the source code within me. You need to protect the half of the source code you hold and find a way to reclaim the part that Bagus stole. No matter who this so-called master is, we can't let them reach Ida. Now, you're the only one who can trigger the perfect Origin Resonance and restore the fragmented Ida. The future of Ida and humanity rests in your hands. Antoria, Commander of the Temporal Anomaly Response Force, Perfect Authorizer, and Executor of the Reshape the Future plan. Your journey is about to come to an end. I broke my promise to you. I feel a deep sense of regret, knowing I won't be able to witness the future you're about to build. But I believe it will be truly beautiful. Don't be too sad. After all, I'm just a consciousness backup. The real hyperspace has a different set of rules for time and space. There's still another Antoria out there. She might still be alive. Please, do whatever it takes to find her. The road ahead is yours to walk, hand in hand, together.
Antoria.
She left with a smile, having completed her mission.
Nem, tell me, is this true?
Okay.
Why?
The auth for Perfect Authorizer is now activated. Although only half of the source code remains, with my help, Shirley can safely escape. I haven't fully adapted to the algorithm ARC server yet, so I need to stay here for now.
What about Bagus? Have you found out who he is?
I'm sorry. He's been deliberately blocking his thoughts. He's a highly skilled authorizer, and I can't hear him. However, I can trace part of the source code he obtained. His data source of consciousness has fled to Kylo with it.
Kylo? Could the god servants have come from there?
No matter where they came from, or how many there are, they must not be allowed to get their hands on the complete source code. Otherwise, they'll be able to trigger the Origin Resonance. I don't know who their master is, but there's no doubt they pose a threat to humanity.
All right. I won't let them succeed. If they come for the source code, I'll seize the opportunity to avenge Antoria.
By the way, Apologize to Shirley for me. Our data source of consciousnesses were entangled back then, and I had no choice but to bring her in to guess those.
I understand. You had your own reasons. I don't think Shirley will blame you. Shirley! I'm back! Why are you here alone? Where are Anka and the others? I wanted to say goodbye to them. After all, once I head back this time... Sorry to keep you waiting. I hit a few bumps along the way. But don't worry. I figured out how to get you back now. Oh, and I ran into Nem. She felt sorry for bringing... I'm fine. There's no need to worry about me. As the Authorizer, I carry the burden of the cybernetic link for extended periods. And it can be quite overwhelming. I've been missing everyone too. Shirley, how are you feeling? Do you ache anywhere?
Don't worry. Her vital signs are all normal. She's just been unconscious for a while, and will need some time to get her motor functions back in sync. I have other things to take care of, so I'll head off now. Once you're done talking, make sure to bring Shirley to me. I believe a thorough examination is still necessary.
I know.
Shirley! Shirley! I missed you so much. Welcome back. Don't be upset, Zeke.
No need for all this formality between us. If you really want to thank me, just take me and Shirley home already. This cybernetic link is a heavy burden. I was so focused on finding Shirley before that I didn't notice much. But now that I finally let go, I suddenly feel so exhausted.
Go home. I miss home too.
Shirley needs time to recover, and I should take a break too. If we don't return to the shelter, where else can we go? Uh-huh.
Finally, we can go home together.
Oh, you sons of I wanted to see if they actually how the ending would have been. Okay. I don't want to end it here until the next time this happens. Oh my god, this was so good. I've never enjoyed a story this good before. Tower Fantasy has probably a good story. Both plot twists and some emotional side to it. If you have never played this game and played a story, please play it. It is literally great. It's great. It's like a never-ending story. It's literally like a never-ending story.
I'll use this power to protect you.
Those are all the characters that you get, but overall, the story is just too great. It's like playing an anime game. It's like watching anime, but instead you're playing a game that just feels like it's anime. God. Whenever I hope after Antoria's character that has recently came out, I think whoever is next should be the continuation of the story, I hope. But that story is crazy. I knew Baggins I couldn't trust because he was just too calm. It was like he didn't have how can I put it? No anger in him like that. It was like everything was just calm to him. And when they mentioned how the dude was just calm, I'm like, this sounds like Baggins because this dude is literally like the calmest guy who doesn't worry about anything. I'm gonna tell you another thing. The characters' outfits are just really good. This girl got some long hair, literally. But her fit in them heels, if I can get them heels, man. But yeah, please play this game. I will stream it again whenever the next story part continues.
Most important to me.
So please stay tuned for that. This is gonna go on my gaming channel on YouTube. It's a long stream. So next time I might stream, I don't know when. I want to stream COD again because I've been playing zombies and I want to start streaming zombies now. I've been playing Liberty Falls, so yeah. But everyone, please have a good night. And I will see y'all again soon.